Charles Barkley with us. Okay, so right now, Philly is open, Doc gets fired. Milwaukee is open, they've got Giannis. The Suns are sitting here. What's the best job that's available right now of those three, Charles?
That's a great question, Brad. I would probably say the Suns.
Hmm.
Um, I do, because you got to figure out the Milwaukee situation. You got Giannis, but you got to figure out, you got a bunch of free agents. I don't know how, I think I saw something. The Warriors are going to play like $500 million in luxury taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know with Middleton and Drew Holiday and Lopez as a free agent, I don't know if Milwaukee, a small market team, can stomach paying $300 or $400 million in luxury taxes. But like I said, you got Katie and Book for the next 3 years, I think at least. To me, the Suns are probably the best job.
In Philly's case, James Harden doesn't want to be there. James Harden always feels like he doesn't want to be someplace. Now his,
yeah.
it's like I'm never.
Hey, yeah, he's like the runaway bride. He's never like, yeah, I tried it, but I'm out of here. And you know what's interesting? I don't understand. Like, I've been sitting back watching, listening to all the crap that's been going on all season.
Yeah.
I don't understand why the Rockets would want him. Like, you got a bunch of young guys, and he says he wants to go. The rumor is he want to go back to Houston. I'm like, why would Houston do that? Pay an aging star to go with all those young kids. I have zero idea what that means. I think for James, probably being in Philly might be his best scenario, because you got an MVP candidate in Joel. Maxi's coming along. You got Tobias Harris. So it's going to be very interesting what happens with that whole Harden situation.
Were you surprised that Monty Williams was let go? It's been a few days. What's your thought on what happened here in Phoenix?
Well, it was very disappointing, that last game. Because I thought the Nuggets were a better team because of the depth, and the Joker is just ridiculous. But anytime you have a Booker and KD, you feel like, okay, we got a puncher's chance.
Okay, so the coach then for the Suns, the one that makes the most sense to you, or names that make this Tyronn Lue. Devin and Kevin both praised him during the Clippers series, which I thought was interesting, just in their comments about how well structured the Clippers were. His name is attached out here, obviously. And then you're Budenholzer, and now Doc is available. Is there a name that you look at, or a couple are like, you know what, that's the right guy to get Kevin, Devin, maybe Ayton as part of the deal, that you got to get DeAndre figured out, or you can't bust the #1 overall pick? Is there a name or two, Charles?
The Tyronn Lue situation is interesting. I'm not sure that he would leave LA and come to Phoenix. He's a very good coach. Yeah, I don't understand him leaving one, because they probably going to have to compensate the Clippers in some capacity. I don't even think the Suns got in the draft pick for the next few years.
Right.
So I don't know how that would work. They're not going to just give up money, Tyronn, to a rival and give him compensation, which they don't even have. So it's going to be very interesting the next, because like I say, all three jobs are good jobs.
If Brooklyn, it's interesting, Charles, if Brooklyn had decided after an 18-2 start, we don't need to trade Kyrie and Durant, and if they had just sat tight, we would be having a completely different conversation, I think.
Yeah, of course. But man, hey, listen, these players have so much power now. They make so much money. When a guy ain't happy, he's got, hey, I don't want to be here. You saw it with James in Houston. You saw it with James in Brooklyn. You saw Ben Simmons in Philadelphia. I mean, the players have all that money and all that power now. So it's kind of like college, where you got the transfer portal and NIL. It's the wild, wild west out here right now. I hate the transfer portal in college and NIL, because kids are going to start just going to the highest bidder now. I think it's going to have a really negative effect on college sports going forward. Like, I want the kids all to be compensated and do the right thing. But the one thing I figured out in my 60 years, there's no fair when it comes to money, Brad. Money, it brings out people's true colors. And it's going to really have a negative effect on college sports going forward. And also, I think it's had a huge negative effect on the NBA, because guys have got so much money, bless them first for making money, but they have so much power now. And you asked me earlier, never or do they blame the players? Never, ever. I let that question skip. Like, when do we ever blame the players? We never blame the players. We always end up screwing the coach and making him the scapegoat.
Two other things will get you out of here. And Kevin Durant, what's going on with you two? Is it just a him problem? I mean, you don't have.
No, it's definitely a him problem. You know, Brad, I got to tell you something. Out of all the things I've ever said about a player, saying one was sensitive is probably the least thing I've ever said about any player I've ever said anything about.
Right.
He's a great player. He's a great kid, I think. And I can't believe why he overreacts. Like, yeah, he is sensitive. I don't even think that's a negative. But you know what? I think he's a great player, and I want him to win. I would love to see the Suns win, be more successful, get to the finals, and win the whole thing. But hey, I'm gonna do my job no matter what. That's one thing I've been really fair about and honest with all these 23 years. I've never had a hidden agenda or personal on anybody.
Well, you two are in the same city, so it'd be nice to see the two of you sit and break bread and figure it out.
Hey, anytime you want to sit down, and like I say, I'd rather play golf with CP3 and Devin Booker, and he can come caddy for me. How about that? Listen, I'm gonna smoke cigars and drink. So how about if he want to make it, he can come drive, because I want to get CP3 and Booker out on the course. I would love for Katie to be my designated driver on the golf course. We can have some fun.
The last time I saw that was at Quintero, and you had Jeremy Roenick, I think was your DD.
Yeah. Jeremy's a good friend of mine. Brad, I'm playing really good golf right now. So
are you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. So if we want to,
hey, listen, man, don't worry about playing good golf. As long as you're out there having a good time, you're drinking some beers, smoking some cigars, which I always do. Yes. First of all, the best thing about it, you're not in the office. So that's the best thing about it.
Let me get you out of here on this. Let me get out of here. I know your time. Boston, Miami, you were in Boston. You've been nice enough to give me some time today. The view of the series for the fans.
I think Boston is the heavy favorite, to be honest with you. I do. I think Boston is the heavy favorite. You know, Jimmy Butler's terrific. Bam Adebayo is terrific. I think the Tyler Hero injury is going to be huge. Mm-hmm. But even if they had Tyler Hero, I had Boston and Milwaukee as my two favorites in the East going in. You know, the Giannis injury threw a monkey wrench into the whole plans for the Bucks, missing a couple games. But I haven't seen anybody I think can beat the Celtics. I will tell you this: the world champion would be the Denver Nuggets. I think they've never gotten the respect they deserved. I told somebody a month ago, I said, the Denver Nuggets are going to win the West, and I think they're going to win the world championship. I'll be disappointed. Not disappointed. I'll be surprised if they don't win the whole thing. They got a terrific team. As you saw last series, man, what a privilege and a pleasure it is to watch the Joker play basketball. It is, you know, it's a beautiful thing. And I think it's great for the league because, you know, Brad, one thing that really has screwed up the NBA, we get so enamored with guys who can really, really run, really, really jump.
Yeah.
You know, they do 360 dunks and they block shots and slap it up to the sixth row in the stands like that really matters. And then you get a kid like the Joker who just out there can't jump over a jelly glazed donut, you know, can't run faster than anybody, but just great. And it's just awesome to watch.
Well, and on top of that, Charles, just being around him in that last series at practice and that, he's got a great personality. He just has fun. The thing with Ishbia handing him the ball, maybe a little thing to some people. To me, it's just like the league needs more of that. We're just having fun out here, guys.
Him walking up to Ishbia and handing him that ball was one of the coolest things. I said, yo, man, if you don't like this kid, there's something wrong with you. That was Joker at his finest. Like, yo, man, I didn't know who you were. I'm pretty sure Joker didn't know who he was when that first happened. But him to walk up to him, give him a hug and a pat, our league is in great hands with a great player like that.
And the league is in great hands having you behind a microphone still with the guys at TNT. I'll let you go off that. Appreciate the time. Safe travel. See you down the road.
Anytime, my brother. Thanks for having me.
There's Charles Barkley with us, and we're back with more after this timeout.